Hello! So I thought I would give, people were asking, could this be used as an instantaneous shower? So I've set it up. Well, let me just bring you around for a quick look. We have the garden hose here. Into this is the only tap thing I can get to make a bridge. So we've got mains water pressure. Mains water pressure comes into the pump. The pump has to run, but it'll be very little in the way of resistance to what we're doing. We've got fuel pump there. We've got some red diesel in a little bottle there. We have got a drip. Can you see the drip? There is a drip because I'm using cable ties for pressure because they were just blown off normally. We've got an exhaust pipe. We've got our switch that puts the pump into, not the pump, the burner into full power. We've got a little control box here so we can see what's going on roughly. Power supply, and it plugged into the mains and giving us our 12 volts. I'm also going to test to see if you can use a pumped supply, not a pump, a water tank through the pump and then out of my shower head hose here, which is just the garden hose set to shower because I don't have an actual shower head. But an actual shower head would be better because you could adjust, if you get an adjustable pressure one, then depending if this works or not, you could tweak the pressure up or down if you wanted hotter or cooler water. So without more further ado, I think we will turn the water on and turn the heater on and see what happens. So where will I put you so you can see? Let me bring you inside. Okay, there's the heater. There's the head of the hose. I'm going to go and stand over there and press the button, and this should all fire up and hot water will come out of there. Hopefully, he said confidently. Right. So I'm ready there. I'm ready to turn things off. So we will start by turning on the water. Pointing it somewhere better would be, somewhere that's not at my camera would be ideal. Okay, we've got watering. I should point out, I'm going to get wet now. Today's water is all of 5, no, less than that. We're coming down, it's about 3 degrees. So incoming water is 3 degrees. I'm just taking the temperature off the body because there's nowhere. Would that tell me it's, yeah, 4, no, that's a different reading, okay. 4 degrees, right, so flip a switch, fire it up, see what we get. Fingers crossed. It begins. Camera's going to get all wet, isn't it? Oh, sounds like it's raining, but it's not, it's just me making wetness. If we just angle that a bit, that makes it worse. That makes it a lot worse. Go that way. Stay. Glow plugs on, I presume. Glow plug. Where's inquire? Yep, glow plugs on. Fuel pump's not doing anything yet. That says 6 degrees, so we might be on 6 degrees, there or thereabouts. What does this thing say? No, it still says 4 degrees. So case temperature 4 degrees, which is, well, should be about the water temperature. Come on now, fire in the life. Okay, glow plug is off. Well, it's warm. I'll give it as warm. Right, let's try taking the pressure down a bit. What I mean is, we'll slow the... Yeah, that's better. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, that's too much. I'm going too slow. Oh, that's hot. I don't know if you can see this in the... Yeah. Woo, steam. Yeah, that totally works. You just have to get the right shower head and the right flow through it. Oh, yes. So, what's that for? I hope you can see the steam coming off of this. Oh, that would make a nice shower. Oh, yes. Anyway, right, okay, that totally works. Let's just put the pressure back in and cool it down. And turn it off. Right, I'll just let that run down. Okay, what have we learned from this? If you take mains water pressure in, put it through here. If you have a variable pressure head, you can adjust it to get really hot water, or, you know, cool-ish water. Somewhere in between gives you a nice shower temperature. Obviously, you get a real shower head with a proper adjustable pressure on it. I don't know if they do a camping shower head with a variable pressure valve in it. That's what you want. Anyway, the 16 kilowatt Chinese one will do the thing. It will do instant shower abilities. And I suppose what I should do is test the Webasto as well to see if it can do the thing. And I'm also going to try filling the tank up and just seeing if the pump can give you, you know, enough hot water for a shower. But I have a feeling that it'll just drain the tank really quickly, because it's only 25 litres. Imagine it'll just thunder through it. Right, let's see if that works. Okay, this time, hot water, well, not hot water, but from the tank, just tank through the pump, out the thing, out the hose. What I will do, I'm going to do is, in my previous test I found this out, I'm going to let this run a little and build up a little bit of temperature, and then open the hose. Otherwise, it empties the thing really quickly. On. So I can see the display to see what the temperature is inside. And when it starts to go up, then I'll open the hose shower thing and see if we can get a nice temperature out of it. And then have to turn it off before it runs out of water. Just what I expect to happen. Well, it's warm. Not like hot, but it's definitely warm. As you can see, it's not a lot of flow. That's not on full, that's not fully open. Uh-oh. Oh, oops. I've got an airlock in the pump. God damn it. It might suck it through. No, it didn't. It boiled instead. God damn it. We'll just let it boil itself out then. Oh. Oh, we're away. Right. We can turn it back on. Our pump's running. I had an air bubble in my pump. Right. I've turned it back on, or off. We'll see if it'll start back up. That used a lot of water. That's like a quarter of the tank in just a few moments of running. We'll see if it starts back up. So yeah, you'd need a really large tank if you were going to do it this way. Like this 25 litres, we're down a quarter. We didn't even get it hot yet. Because you're going to have to run it full power to let it get the air out the system, and then you can turn it down a little bit. So yeah, unless you've got like a really big tank, I don't think tanked storage, well, not storage. Storage is definitely the way to go. If you heat the water up first and then just pump it through a shower head, that would be Excuse me. So, yeah, so that kind of, it does work. You do get hot water out it eventually, but it uses so much water so quickly that you need a really big tank. And I've not got a tank big enough to test that with. Right, let's go back to our original plan of putting the Webasto on and trying it with the mains pressure. Okay, let me just give it the sunshine so I can show you. This time we have the Webasto, the, well, 4 kilowatt or 5. What does it say on it? I can't see the sign. It's in the sun. It's either 4 or 5. And we've got that mains pressure through the hose again, and the inlet, outlet up to hose, shower head adapter thing, power supply, etc. Wires, diesel, same shit again. Sorry, same fuel pump. Oh, but the interesting with the Hungarian non-Webasto ECU, it doesn't care if there's a water pump attached or not. When it starts up, it gives absolutely no fucks. It will just run. So here we go. Now, hopefully, I've got the camera sitting sort of where you can see the spray head, because this is an important bit to show you how much I have to vary it down to get a nice hot shower. But boy, if this is your only shower, then this is great. You will have an actual hot water working shower. Another thought I was having with the Hungarian third-party ECU is you could just have a 12-volt solenoid for instead of the water pump. So when you turn it on, it would just go ka-chunk and water would start flowing. And then once it's run to the end of the cycle, it'll all ka-chunk and it'll turn off again. I think that would work. I think it is a 12-volt output. I would have to check for you, but I could check. But assuming it is, even if it was less than that, you could run it on a relay and run the solenoid water, a solenoid valve, 12-volt valve to open, let the water through and run, and then turn off when you're finished the shower. And obviously you just get a nice shower head with the variable thing so you can get hot water, etc, etc. Anyway, I'm blathering now. Let's fire it up. That's still on, right? We'll start by turning the pressure. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can see me. We will start by activating the hose. Right, where's this gonna go? It's a little bit windy, but right, and nope, stood in the hose. And then it's just a matter of connecting my switch together. It's not really a switch, it's just two bits of wire just together because I'm too lazy to find an actual switch, but it does the thing. So there we go. It is on. It's starting. So now it'll just it'll start, funnily enough, run, start, and then we'll adjust the spray volume to feel it's got a nice shower about it, and you'll see how much actual flow is coming out of it. But I'm actually quite impressed. Obviously it's got maybe half the flow of the bigger heater, but the bigger heater is producing twice as much heat, so it would still do the job. If you can get one of these out of scrappy, 30 quid, Hungarian ECU, or if you're lucky enough to actually get a Webasto ECU that works, Bob's your auntie. Mains pressure. Again, this would also run from the pump, but it uses so much water that you'd have to have a big tank. So again, if you're running it tanked, you would better making a hot water tank with this and then just turning the shower on and off as you need it. Anyway, it's beginning. It's nearly up to full power. Okay, we are running at maximum, so water's pretty cold. So we will flip this down and I'll just do it manually. We'll just let the pressure drop away. So, no, not that much. So, starting with a flow like that. Let's see how hot it gets. It's starting to get warm now. So, I don't know if you can see the steam coming off it. So that's hot. That's almost too hot to touch, but I have got baker's hands, so that doesn't really count. So that's a hot shower. That is hot as fuck. So, well, put a little bit more pressure. Just need to boil that bit off. That's still pretty hot. Okay, it's coming down again now. Right, that's the nice shower. So that much flow, that would give you a nice shower. Hope you can see the steam coming off my hands. Now it's difficult to control. So that's probably about just a nice shower temperature, which is not too bad. Oh, it's hard to show on camera, granted, but it's not terrible. I mean, you can shower in it. It's totally doable. Yeah. Obviously at full power it's pretty much just cold water coming out. Yeah, it's thundering through too fast for it. But you can get it down to, well, let's do that much. That'll be hot water. It's not quite instant. Yeah, that's hot water. That's like hot tap water. That's like washing dishes hot. Yeah. Woo! Woo, it's hot. Yeah. Oh, baby. Right. Let's put that at maximum power and shut it down. I like that the Hungarian ECU, once you disconnect switch, it stops fueling, like entirely. That's it on stopping cooling down. I like that. It's a nice. I'm not entirely sure if the Webasto does it as well, but I know the Chinese ones like to keep pumping diesel in a little bit more at the end, but I like that it just stops. And now I'll just let that run until it's finished, and then we'll have a little talk about the pros and cons of each. Well, both heaters worked. The Chinese 16 kilowatt, 8 kilowatt, whatever actual output we measured it at last time, that totally works. Means feed in, hot water out, variable pressure showerhead, Bob's your auntie, lovely biscuits. The smaller Webasto also totally works. Means pressure in, adjustable showerhead, hot water out. Obviously you get less pressure because it's a smaller heater, so it can only heat up the water to, you know, probably about half, or not quite as half, but it works anyway for Webasto. Doing it from a tank, I'm still not entirely sure. Like with a standard setup, with a standard pump, I think there's too much flow. It goes too fast for the heater not to, like, we had the 25 litre and we used a quarter of it just heating the thing up and getting it primed and running. So unless you're planning on having really, really short showers, but you also run the risk of running all the water out of the tank. So you would need some sort of system that either cut the fuel pump so it goes out and stops heating up, or I don't know, some other way of controlling how much water, you don't know how much water you've got versus how much time you spend in the shower. I know it's a bit risky. If I was going to use a tank, I would use either the big heater or the Webasto to heat the tank of water up, and then use a shower pump or something, or even perhaps one of these cheap, horrible, nasty. I haven't tried this yet. I did mean to, but the power supply is in the house and I need crocodile clips to clip onto the cigarette lighter. But that, you know, you heat your water up in your tank and then duke that in and press the switch and turn on, you've got a shower, and actually you could be showering outside and getting clean and shit. But you know what I mean, that is an option. I'm still trying to build our own ECU boards that's Arduino controlled to run the Webasto and the pump, so that it can vary the pressure and the speed of the pump, so you get the temperature of water out that you want, and that would run from a tank. And that would probably be okay because you're slowing the pump, you know, right down, so you're not using as much water. But again, we still need a safety system that would turn the well, that's the easiest and safest way would to turn the fuel pump off when you run out of water, because then the heater just errors out and just flames out and stops. But without actually, running out of water and then the thing overheating, so on and so forth, you get scalded. You don't want any of that. You want it to cut the heat first before you run out of water. But that is hopefully that, and we have shown that both heaters will provide hot water for mains pressure, but you will have to vary the flow out of them depending on which size the heater is and depending how hot or scalded you want in your shower. Thanks for watching, guys.